Good morning and good afternoon for everyone. Thank you for attending this Bosco Conference. I'm delighted to be here today in front of you, and thank you for all those who attended today. I'm amazed by the number that Anna has mentioned. And again, Anna, thank you for your introduction to me and to my group, OMC. OMC Group is a group of companies operating in several services, which I'm going to present today. And among these, the corporate service, the fiduciary. And today I'll be presenting several jurisdictions which fall under the scope of our work for business setup. So, however, we've also opted for the idea of selecting one jurisdiction as an example. So just to give an idea how it works with the OMC Group. I'll be today presenting an average of 18 slides. It's going to take some 30 minutes. Feel free to ask your questions like Anna have mentioned. Along with me, I'll be having 3 of my colleagues from the group attending as a part of the panel. And I hope you will enjoy this presentation. So as you can see here, OMC Group, you can see at the very first slide our logo. Again, our head office is in Panama. However, myself, I'm operating from Dubai office, where I'm a resident here for the last 12 years in the UAE. And we are going to present the best jurisdictions with OMC Group for your company setup. Again, this is presented by me, Khaled Moumni, Business Development Manager with OMC Group. Let's go together through the content. So I'll explain to you beforehand what I'm going to present today, so we all align our content and our comments all together, and we can follow constructively together this presentation. Number one, I'm going to present my company. So who is OMC Group, our purpose, the mission, the vision and values of OMC Group. I'll be talking also about the international offices and licenses we have, our services. Right after that, I'll be moving to speak about the corporate services, so which is a very directly linked topic to the business setup. The company setup in offshore jurisdiction generally. Then I'll be sharing with you a comparative table of jurisdiction, which I will go through to explain a little further. And then the jurisdiction which we've selected to talk a little more about, which is the BVI, the British Virgin Island. We are going to go through the advantages, the operational advantages, as well as the legal advantages. After that, we are going to talk about our ESR offer, economic substance packages and offers that we can provide you and we can help you with. And then, of course, through the procedure and the process of how setting up a company with OMC, with our group. And then we will go to discuss about the trust and fiduciary services. I'll be going to the next slide. So who is OMC Group, the group that I work for? We are a leading company in the corporate, fiduciary, and administrative service industry, with more than 65 years of experience and of existence also. I would say in this industry and many other industries, we have a solid reputation and global presence. Our culture is built on the importance of providing high quality service, ensuring a fast, friendly, and efficient response to our clients' needs. And here I want to reiterate in a very important fact. We are a group company. We have over 150 employees, and we have experts from different fields. So we have those who have banking backgrounds, law background, wealth management background, and we are definitely all here as a team to help you, whether today to attend your questions or whenever you're interested to talk to us in any project. We will definitely be able to assist you and to respond on a timely manner. Our purpose: we help our intermediaries' clients protect their wealth and ensure their legacy for future generations. Some of you might wonder why we are mentioning our intermediaries. We hope that you will be having soon a professional relationship with our company, and you will notice that we work also extensively with intermediaries like law firms, wealth management companies, corporate service providers, as well as individual advisors. So we assist them for what they provide to their end users, to their clients, whether it is for company setup, for fiduciary, or for any financial goal study. Our mission is to provide a personalized, timely, and innovative global solutions to satisfy our clients' corporate, fiduciary, and financial goals. Our vision is definitely to be our clients' first choice and a source of pride of our employees, while being mindful of social and environmental responsibility. Our values: OMC Group is guided by the following values: the integrity, optimism, the efficiency, the confidentiality, when it comes, of course, to data protection, to communication, external communication with the clients, to our external communications with you as well. We do keep confident the data management, and we do it properly. This is something we know, and this is something we've been doing for several years. Our offices and licenses. So we have customer service centers or offices in 5 locations. In Dubai, where I'm operating from, Geneva, Hong Kong, Panama, where our head office is, and the Uruguay. We do also hold registered agent licenses in 8 jurisdictions. Namely, these are Anguilla, Bahamas, Belize, BVI, Hong Kong, Nevis, Panama, and Seychelles. Of course, this is in addition also to wholly owned fiduciary licenses in 5 jurisdictions: BVI, which is again the British Virgin Islands, Costa Rica, Nevis, New Zealand, and Panama. Through all this, we operate together all as a team and as one hand. And all these offices, with no exceptions, will be here to assist and to help. Our services. So you will see here several services of and I would say these are still part of all what we do. You can check in details what we do through our website, or to reach to us later on via email if you would like to. Our website is www.omcgroup.com, or if you would like to send me an email, that is going to be to Moumni. I'll be providing you the spelling later, Moumni@omcgroup.com for more details. So we do private foundation and company setup, assets consolidation and analysis, trust and fiduciary services, accounting services for companies, wealth planning and wealth management, administrative and immigration services, legal services, real estate advisory, succession planning and family governance, compliance services, ship and yacht registration, investment portfolio advisory, and business facilities. And this is all done into one-stop shop, that in a way that when you approach us for a service, we do the whole thing from A to Z by ourselves, and we help you doing that from A to Z, from the time you request it till the time that your request is completed and done. The corporate services. which is a topic that is going to link us to the company formation and also to the jurisdictions that we do, and then to the British Virgin Islands. Our global network of offices allows us to provide local timely attention with the global expertise of our team and my colleagues. OMC Group is an experienced partner that provides company registration and administration in the following jurisdictions. Of course, here when I say company registration and administration, I'm referring to the setup of the company itself, as well as all the other services that comes after the company setup, whether it is renewal, secretarial services, legal services, like to request for a second set of documents, change of structure, whatsoever. We will be there also to assist you. So, and these jurisdictions are Anguilla, Bahamas, Belize, the British Virgin Islands, Cyprus, the Cayman Islands, Hong Kong, Liberia, the Marshall Islands, Nevis, Panama, Seychelles, Singapore, among many others. Our services, the registration and administration of companies, the post-incorporation services, as I've mentioned, the director services, and the miscellaneous legal services as well. Let's talk about the company setup in offshore jurisdictions. Of course, we would like, definitely ahead of talking about that, to speak a little about the offshore jurisdiction in a nutshell. So, characteristics of an offshore jurisdiction: it's a low, neutral corporate tax jurisdiction or country, you can call it, or a state. In some cases, it can be even a city. An optimum financial privacy, and a minimum corporate regulatory complexity. What do the offshore jurisdiction offer? It offers a moderate financial environment, which you might not find in the standard, I would say, jurisdictions which are not offshore, or the local ones, the mainland ones, for example. And even here, what we call the free zone. Some free zones are, as I would say, as tough as mainland companies. So this flexibility is, however, available in several offshore jurisdictions. Solid confidentiality regulations, alternative mechanism for investors, home-based and traditional regressive tax high regulatory scheme. Offshore jurisdictions are of interest for high net worth individuals or multinationals, as well as anyone looking for an alternative, flexible way of doing business. Here, we've inserted into this presentation a comparative table of jurisdictions. We've selected some of the jurisdictions that we do. As you can see it's not much talkative, but I'll be going through it to explain it a little more. Say, for instance, on the top, you would say the jurisdictions, so British Virgin Islands, Cayman Islands, Delaware, Hong Kong, Nevis, Seychelles, and Panama. So we've selected these jurisdictions. And then you see on the left, the entity detail, what it is. If it's like a business company, so the business company is the new way in too many offshore jurisdictions that used to be called before offshore company or international business company. Now there is a new way to call it business company or international business company. Cayman Island, there are also the exempt companies. In Delaware, there are the LLC companies. In Hong Kong, the PLC, the MBCO in Nevis, Seychelles, the International Business Company, and the SA in Panama. You will see the government fee, which can also roughly give you an idea about how much the government is charging for registering such a company. The minimum number of shareholder and members required. Okay, so you can see, like, I would say for all of them, except the Delaware's, like the minimum is just one. For Delaware, you can incorporate, it's not even something applicable there. It goes the same for the number of directors. However, in Panama, you will notice that you will require 3 directors. Corporate directors, which is a service that we can also help you with, if you are looking to appoint a director into this company and you don't think that you are eligible to do so, or you don't find the appropriate person to appoint, we can help you definitely with that. So in all the jurisdictions except Delaware, this is permitted to be done, and we can help definitely with that. Local directors or secretary requirement, if it's required by the jurisdiction itself, by the authority, by the financial service authority, or by the registrar. Not in BVI, not in the Cayman, also in Delaware, it's not the case. In Hong Kong, it's the case just for the secretary, but it's not a requirement for the director. Nevis, Seychelles, and Panama, again, it is not a requirement, nor for the director or for the secretary. Director, individual person required. Individual person required in the BVI, it can be both actually. Cayman Islands, as you see, the only jurisdiction where it says yes actually is Hong Kong. Filing of directors, it is a requirement in the BVI. You need to do so, and we also do help you with that. The Cayman Islands, it is also a requirement. It's not a requirement to do so, to file the list of directors in the Delaware, but it is the case in Hong Kong. And again, not the case in Nevis. You need to file the directors in Seychelles, in Seychelles, and you will not be required to do so in Panama. Filing of shareholders, you can see the list. Filing of beneficial owners also, which is something very important, and now most of the jurisdictions, if not all, are requiring to report the ultimate beneficial owners. And this is due to several facts. One of them is the common reporting standards, the automatic exchange of information, whether the local regulatory information, the economic substance. So all this is leading us to this fact. So in the BVI, yes, you must file the list of beneficial owners of the company that was set up, as well in the Cayman Islands. You won't be required to do so in the Delaware. However, it is again a requirement in Hong Kong and Panama, but you are not required to do so in Nevis or Seychelles, for example. The accounting records is required in the BVI and Cayman Islands, Hong Kong, Nevis, Seychelles, and Panama, but it's not actually in Delaware. Filing of annual return is not a requirement, however, in BVI. It is a requirement in the Cayman Islands, along with Hong Kong, Nevis, and Seychelles. But again, it's not a requirement in Delaware and in Panama. Economic substance legislation, the ESR. Yes, it is the case for the BVI, and the BVI, they did cope very well, I would say, with this OECD new requirement. I mean, relatively new, over 2 years now. Cayman Island as well. Delaware, it's not for Hong Kong or Nevis. For Seychelles, it is, but not for Panama. So now we are going to talk a bit about this jurisdiction of the BVI, as I've mentioned in the very beginning. The British Virgin Islands at the Gallants. British overseas territory located in the Caribbean. It got more than 50% of its revenues generated by the offshore companies registry and by the offshore company setup and renewal, I would say, and whatsoever services related to setting up a company or any other vehicle or legal entity in the BVI. It's a major worldwide player in the industry, and I would say that they are doing the business that is being done there, talking about the company setup, is very well regulated, and it's very well done. It's clear. It's I would say also it's user-friendly for the end users. You won't see any complexity if you compare it to a few other jurisdictions. It's a simple, especially I would say the offshore as an offshore jurisdiction, so it requires the presence of a registered agent like us. Then again, we will be there to help you and make things easier. So they've deserved definitely the position in the business as one of the first offshore jurisdictions to exist. And I qualify personally as the first one because I've seen too many other jurisdictions copying literally the legislations of the BVI and practicing them. It signed so far several joint conventions in tax matters. I'm referring here to tax treaties. So far, 21 tax treaty has been signed. And they are still into other series of treaties under negotiation, and we will be hearing about these soon, actually. So having mentioned all the points above, we agree that definitely a reliable international financial center and a tax planning destination. Now, let's go through the advantages, whether operational or legal advantages, to see why, for example, OMC, despite the fact that we serve into many other jurisdictions, as I've presented before, why I've selected this example. Operational advantages, you can see, for example, that this jurisdiction is the best, I would say, or one of the best, if it's not the best, for investment vehicles or to diversify your asset. You can use it as a diversification tool to diversify the asset, whether the asset that you are going to hold or you are already holding. Easy and prime setup process, and I would also add to this easy and completely online process, meaning that once you contact us, we simply require documentation from you by email. You provide us this. We do everything without asking you to be present. Business with global access. And I can, for example, give you several multinationals, but I won't be able to name them, using it, just using the BVI to hold the company, or to be present specifically in an offshore jurisdiction. You can also do so. Overseas vehicle to establish a holding structure, a branch, or subsidiary. You can, again, use the British Virgin Island company to do so, whether to hold your company, which is existing, or to create a total new structure where this company acts as a holding, or even as a branch. In normal cases scenarios, say, for example, back home, where I come from in Tunisia, or here in the UAE, we refer, for example, to often a branch in the mainland or a free zone. We are talking about a very costly and lengthy procedure. It's not the case in the BVI, for example, where actually it takes few hours to working days to set up the company, and few working hours for us to send you the corporate documents and the registration documents of your company, so namely the memorandum and articles of association and the certificate of formation, and you've got your company set, and you've got your registered address and the memorandum mentioned. So, and you are ready to move through. Venture startups oriented to online business, e-commerce, and fintech, those which I honestly call the nomad entrepreneurs and the nomad investors, who they don't really require a premises, a real office to operate from, because all their business is being done online, and all they need is a legal entity to proceed with it and to have this legal structure and do their business. So again, BVI is one of the best to do so. Of course, the local trade benefits, which are related to the jurisdiction, referring, of course, to the neutral, or the low taxation in the jurisdiction of the BVI. Expedite registration process is also it's one of the major strengths in this jurisdiction, and you can use it for estate planning. And this is honestly, among many other benefits that I'll be definitely glad to share with you whenever you would like to have more about these details. Going to some of the legal advantages that we've selected, again, this is some among many others. There is no paid up capital requirements. You don't need to pay the capital ahead of setting up the company. You simply provide us with the capital in the incorporation form or via email to tell us, and it's mentioned, and you don't need to pay it up. One minimum shareholder and director required means you can run the company and set it up on a one-man show. One person can do the whole thing, being the beneficial owner, the sole shareholder, and the director of this company. Of course, if you would like to add more, you can add more. Good standing reputation and political stability of the jurisdiction itself. This jurisdiction is not into any blacklist, whether from the IRS, referring here to the OFAC, or from the OECD, referring here to the EU, or from any other regulatory organizations that you can refer to. The BVI is not, it's actually whitelisted. First adopter of common reporting standards, the CRS, and the base erosion and profit shifting of the OECD and FATCA regulations of the IRS, making it a very cooperative jurisdiction. So later on, for example, when you approach a stage of seeking a change of structure, or to diversify it, or redomicile it, or even to go for your bank account, it sounds as a very stable and a good jurisdiction, and you won't face issues, at least related to the reputation of the jurisdiction. We do an OMC as a registered agent in this jurisdiction. It's one of our licenses as a registered agent, the BVI. We do provide the BVI economic substance offer. I'm sure over here that many of you, if not all, have heard or very well aware, I would say, of the economic substance method, this new imposition from the OECD and from the EU, where now all companies with no exceptions are required to file their report, and if they fall under one of the relevant activities, then they need to prove it. We can help with that in the BVI. So we can provide the premises, the directors, employment services if you are required by the Act to provide employees, BVI trade license and tax ID, bookkeeping services, audited financial statements, mail collecting and forwarded, the web package, other services like the phone line, what we call like the virtual office, cellular phone line, and the internet. How to form a BVI company with OMC? It's very simple. Requirements: you provide us with a standard due diligence and personal know your client KYC documents and order form. We do our steps, which are compliance approval. We do the name check from the registry on your behalf. We do the filing of incorporation request at the BVI registry. We prepare the corporate documents, do the filing of register of directors, and we dispatch you the corporate documents. You will see here trust and fiduciary services, also part of what we do as well. Trust formation and administration, Panama BVI, New Zealand, Nevis, Costa Rica, and the United States. Private foundations in Anguilla, Belize, Curacao, Nevis, Panama, and Seychelles. We do also the assistance with the application for opening corporate bank accounts, funds administrations. And finally, in our group at OMC, we know business, and that's how we can help you do yours. Our team is proactive and innovator and customer-centric. We'll be happy to see you visiting us. Please visit our website, www.omcgroup.com, and feel free for any queries to send me an email, whether to my colleagues at marketing@omcgroup.com or to myself, and I'll be happy to assist you, kmoumni@omcgroup.com. Thank you so much for your attendance. Stay connected with us and stay safe.
Khaled, thank you very much for your presentation. And we've got a number of questions regarding BVI specifically. I will try to make one question out of those many, because a lot of them were regarding bank opening procedure in BVI. So there are the majority of questions related to the fact how quickly to open a bank account in the BVI, whether it can be done only for the BVI company, or foreign company can also open an account with the BVI bank. And the third question related to this topic, whether a BVI company can open account abroad in some other jurisdiction. Can you please briefly comment on this question?
Thank you so much for your questions, Anna. I actually can answer it in two ways. We do in OMC offer bank accounts in several jurisdictions, and I'll be even more than happy to go through these. We have it documented, and I can even introduce you to the team that help us doing this. Now, the BVI company, yes, it can open a corporate bank account in several jurisdictions and not only in the BVI. It can open a bank account, for example, in the Mauritius. It can open a bank account even here in Dubai, actually. However, it's scenario by scenario, case by case basis. So now today, I would say the banks are more reluctant, not about the jurisdiction, as long as the jurisdiction of the company is doing well. It's more about the company activity and the structure of the company itself and the history of the company, if any. However, of course, if there is no history and you are referring to a brand new setup company, then again, I would say that they are picky when it comes to the company activity itself, okay, and to the structure of the company, and few other ins and outs aspects of the operations of the company, which we always encourage in OMC to build a very good business plan for the bank, and we help with that. We do provide all the required documents and questionnaire. We don't work with one bank, we work with several. And by the way, at this time while we are talking together, my colleagues are still doing new researches and adding new banks to our network. And this is something that keeps developing. And yes, so bottom line, yes, a BVI company can definitely have a corporate bank account in its jurisdiction and outside jurisdiction with no issues related to the jurisdiction of the company itself.